So welcome to this case study video on probability and differential equations. In an office, 3 employees A, B and C process copies. A processes 50%, B 20% and C the remaining 30%. A has an error rate of 0.06, B has an error rate of 0.04 and C has an error rate of 0.03. Find the probability that A processed the form and committed an error. So probability of A has an error rate of 50%. So probability of A is 50 by 100. Probability of B is 20 by 100. Probability of C is 30 by 100. And let E be the event of an error. So what do we need to find? Probability that A processed the form and committed an error. That is probability of A intersection E. So using conditional probability, this is probability of A into probability of E given E. Probability of A is 50 by 100. Probability of E given A. Probability that A processes the form and has an error is 0.06. So probability of error given that A processed it is 0.06. So your answer will be 0.03. The second part is find the total probability of an error in processing the form. So probability of an error is probability of A into probability of an error given that A processed it plus probability of B into probability of an error given that B processed it plus probability of C into probability of an error given that C processed it. These two we have already calculated. Probability of B is 20 by 100. Probability that there is an error given that B processed it is 0.04 and probability that there is an error given that C processed it is 0.03. So substituting these values you get 0.047. The next part, the manager selects a form at random. If the form has an error, find the probability that it was not processed by A. Now probability that there is an error given that A processed the form given that there is an error, we use Bayes' theorem. So this is probability of A into probability of E given A divided by the total probability. Probability of A into probability of E given A plus probability of B into probability of E given B plus probability of C into probability of E given C. So substituting all the values, you get it as 30 by 47. Now you need to find the probability that it was not processed by A. So I want to find probability of A complement given that there is an error. That is 1 minus probability of A given E. That is 1 minus 30 by 47, which is 17 by 47. Let E be the event of committing an error in processing the form and let E1, E2, E3 be the events that A, B and C process the forms respectively. Find summation I taking value 1 to 3 probability of EI given E. So we need to find probability of E1 given E plus probability of E2 given E plus probability of E3 given E. So using conditional probability, this is probability of E1 intersection E by E plus probability of E2 intersection E by E plus probability of E3 intersection E by E. So we can take probability of E common, that is probability of E1 intersection E plus probability of E2 intersection E plus probability of E3 intersection E by probability of E. That will be probability of E intersection E1 union E2 union E3 by probability of E. And E1 union E2 union E3 is E. So it is probability of E by probability of E, which is 1. Coming to the next question, we have team A, B and C have attached a rope to a metal ring. Team A pulls with force F1 equal to 6i kilonewton. Team B pulls with force F2 equal to minus 4i plus 4j kilonewton and Team C pulls with the force F3 is minus 3i minus 3j kilonewton. Which team will win the game? So we calculate modulus of F1, that is 6. Modulus of F2 will be root 16 plus 16, that is 4 root 2. Modulus of F3 will be root 9 plus 9, that is 18, which is 3 root 2. So the higher value is 6. So team A will win the game. The relation between the height of the plant y in centimeters with respect to its exposure to sunlight is governed by the equation y equal to 4x minus x squared by 2, where x is the number of days exposed to sunlight. Find the rate of growth of the plant. X is less than or equal to 3. So the rate of growth is dy by dx is 4 minus x, and does the rate of growth of the plant increase or decrease in the first 3 days? What will be the height of the plant after 2 days? So d2y by dx squared will be minus 1, which is less than 0. So the rate of growth of the plant decreases in the first 3 days. And after 2 days, the height of the plant becomes y equal to, substitute in the value of y. So you get y equal to 4 into 2 minus 2 squared by 2, that is 6 centimeters. So thank you for joining me on this mathematical journey. Expand your learning in the next episode. Thank you.